How far did you go in a game of truth or dare? It was a sleepover with 2 boys and 3 girls at this girl's house. I was one of the lucky guys. We were playing truth or dare and our clothes were coming off piece by piece. I got dared to wear a leopard bra from the girl of the house's dresser. Right as I put it on and start dancing around like a silly idiot, our mom walks in and I get sent home. Edit. We were about 14-15, so it all was pretty exciting. At a friend's house for a sleepover when I was maybe 12 or so. Just me, my brother, and the friend playing truth or dare. Really just dare. Because truth is lame af. We were doing the typical sheep, making drinks out of condiments and other stuff to chug. Putting household items in the freezer etc. When I was hit with a ducking dare gong. Sneak into his sister's room, who was a few years younger than us. Go to her personal bathroom. Take a sheet. And leave it. Ninja sheet? I'm down. So I left a monster log in her toilet. And sneakily waddled back out to the main bathroom to wipe. Can't have toilet paper obstructing the view of that beautiful brown python. The next morning, we woke up to screams. I got a very stern talking to. But I know both my friend's dad and my dad were laughing inside. Also, I was strictly forbidden from entering her room. Totally worth it. Was dared to go home. I went home. I jumped 20 stairs, almost 3 meters height I think. I was stupid, I tore a ligament in knee. I jumped out a window. I couldn't see the ground because it was dark. And when my feet hit, my knee slammed into my jaw and busted 2 teeth. That was an expensive dare. I was sitting with my girlfriend next to me. And received the dare kiss the person next to you. I made eye contact with her. Smiled. And leaned in. As soon as I saw her close her eyes, I whipped around to my right. Grabbed my friend's jaw. And kissed him square on the lips. Oh, she was mad, but oh was it worth it. As a dare, I got my ear pierced by a friend using a needle. Seemed funny at the time. But the next few days where it was leaking yellow pus and my entire ear was red were a little less funny. That happened with me. I only had earlobe piercings and got septum piercings because my friend dared me, but at an actual tattoo shop. I still keep it open with a barbell that doesn't show. I have 2 kids now. Dug yourself 12 feet under. I think 12 feet is an understatement. As a kid, my cousin always beat the shit out of me and was a terror. One day she dared me to go to the very top of the roof, and I'm not sure if she asked me to jump off or stand on the edge. I do not want to exaggerate, so I'll assume stand. I did. With my toes being in the air and the rest of my feet on the edge of the roof. I was 10 years old and that was the first time I felt suicidal. Despite having been generally happy and well at the time. The call of the void. Definitely call of the void moment. Licked whipped cream off a cute boy's ear. Ended up marrying that cute boy. It turned from weird to wholesome. Not far. I typically bowed out whenever the dares or truths became just dangerous or hurtful. I never liked truth or dare because people aren't creative enough. And instead just go for the shock factor. Oh. That's a shame. I tend to get very creative. I was never dared to do anything particularly crazy, mostly because I was usually the innocent one. But a girl was once dared to kiss me on the lips. The darer was okay with a peck. And she said that since it isn't in a sexual context, there's nothing weird about it. I wasn't really paying attention and suddenly this girl pops up and kisses me. Her lips were uncomfortably moist. And then goes back to sitting like nothing happened. I have to be honest. That was probably the worst kiss I've experienced. Deletes Reddit account. I made out with one of those weird growths on the side of a tree for 5 minutes. My tongue was bleeding for about an hour. When I was much younger, 2 girls, my friend and I were hanging out. We eventually started playing truth or dare, which eventually ended in the girls daring us to give them massages. Those manipulative brats. Got free massages out of it too because there was no way in hell we were going to say no to girls lifting the backs of their shirts up and unhooking their bras. That was. Sadly. All the further it went. I don't exactly remember what happened after the massages. I'm pretty sure the blood was directed away from my brain at the time. I think we may have been called down for dinner or something, or the girls had to go home or something of the sort. We were, as I said, young. Almost got invited to play. Once. I mean, it's kind of barbaric, but once I kissed a girl, guys. Dated a 50-year-old for a week. I think that we all want to hear the story behind this one. So, my friends and I always played Extreme Truth or Dare, and I was always the pussy who backed out of things. This is really trashy, but it's a dose of reality. I'm 16. But people think I'm much older because I've been weight training since I was 12. So my hella cut muscles outweigh my baby face, and when talking to people and they often think I'm older. Anyway. There was this guy at the gym that was always super flirtatious with me. I always brushed him off because I'm an awkward kid who doesn't know how to deal with creepy guys yet. Anyway. After falling into the peer pressure, I told the friends in my group to give me an extreme dare, and I promised I wouldn't back out. They told me to ask out the creep at the gym. But I was like hell no, but they kept putting money on it. Big money too. They each put $30 on it. So it was 30x6. I finally asked the dude on a date and we went on one. My parents thought I was out with friends. Anyway. He was a nice guy and we talked about normal things. He asked me how college was. I went into immense detail since my older sister is in college and I know how it works. Anyway. That was the only date we went on, and by the end of the week, I scored $180. I know. I'm a cheap whore. BTW at the end of the week. I told him I was underage and I never saw him at the gym after that. It was what are the odds, but close enough. It was December in Alaska and we were chilling in the hot tub and I got dared to, with my friend, go into the middle of the street, drop drawer and do 10 push-ups, then run all the way up the street and ding-donged at your house of this asshole kid while buckers naked and streak the way back. Odds were 1/100 and I duckin' lost. Great game at 2 AM though. You know what? I'll tell you anyway. I reinstalled Fortnite and didn't stop playing until I got a victory royale. Probably about 19ish at the time. Male. Got dared to lick chocolate sauce off a girl's bed tit. She wasn't into me but loved the attention. So I went for it. Another time I was dating someone at the time. And they dared her to give me a BJ under a blanket. She went for it and nobody actually believed it was happening. My one friend called bullshit on me and I swore no dude. She's ducking sucking it right now. Back off. Then his girlfriend shouted no ducking way. And tried to yank the blanket off. I grabbed it back and leaned over to the side to hide our sinfulness, but I'm pretty sure they caught a glimpse. Edit, that wasn't even the most embarrassing one. The worst was when I was at a medieval battle reenactment event and everyone was hanging out around various campfires afterward. I got dared to walk past every campsite doing the Cornholio bit from Beavis and Butthead. I thought it was a ducking hilarious idea. But I was alone in this. So very alone. I've gone streaking before but never felt quite as naked as I did that night. Walking up to group after group of strangers with my shirt over my head. And having them stare at me like disappointed fathers while I ask if they have TP for my bunghole. It wasn't me. But on the way to a track meet in 8th grade, my friend and I were sitting in the seats about 3 rows from the back of the bus. Almost all of the guys on the team were behind us. Small school. Small team. I don't know if it was a dare or what. But I heard them saying something about getting hard, and when I looked over at my friend I saw one dude jerking off out of the corner of my eye. I tried to go across the row to my friend's seat so I didn't have to see that to talk to her. And I was yelled at by one of the coaches to go back to my seat. These guys would also occasionally sit kinda close to the front. And one would play porn and hold their phone out in the middle of the aisle for the rest to see. I haven't been in track since. I had my pants down to my ankles with my underwear pulled down to expose my cheeks and had to waddle for 2 blocks whilst having my shirt pulled behind my head and pinching my nipples. I was dared to kiss a boy on his lips. I left and went home. You didn't go far then. You refused to do it. Maybe they lived far away so they did have to go far in the end. Lick the ground of a bus. Made out with a girl for the first time in 7th grade. Made out with others. But obviously the first time was the most eventful. Especially because I was a total dork and she pulled me in. Later saying she thought I'd appreciate it. Which I goddamn did. What a patriot. Kit was a college girl in a middle schooler's body. Jumped off balcony of motel room into pool while holding my friend's GF. I peed inside my neighbor car. All over the seats. Not proud but it was 14 years ago. Guys, 4-6 of us, jumped off of the school roof, after scaling the building, in 4th grade. Resulted in a few minor injuries and warnings from the principal. My friends invite me to a party that they were hosting. They were play truth or dare. It got out of hand when none of us got dared to run on one side of the roof to the other side. My friend fell for the house and broke her arm. We did not play truth or dare again.